If we're talking about this being systemic, if it is a systemic problem, getting the buy-in to the change, I'm curious of the difficulty, whether it's behind the badge or whether it's an elected officials, maybe held a seat for an extremely long time. What discussions have to happen so that the tide changes a little bit for young folks to see the world that they're looking for?
Well, I think this is the time, right? Because you can see it happening, and I think that humans are very self-observant, right? And you can see in the national level and local levels and at the state level, you can see policy being pushed and things being done that 5 years ago wouldn't have happened because they know that if they don't do it, guess what? The next person coming behind them is going to do it, and they're going to be out of a job, right? Let's be honest. A lot of the conversation that they're having at the national level, we know that before this moment, before Mr. Floyd was murdered, the Congress would not be pushing those kind of things. It's because of that pressure. It's because the world now can see and what's happening in this movement that's happening. But Jason, it goes a little further than that, and I think Aaron was touching on it. People have to be willing to be uncomfortable, right? We know what doesn't work. We know I catch a lot of black time for saying like we know that we have to responsibly over time reduce our dependence on the department so that we can make investments into other agencies, educations, community, and as the sheriff said, reduce the responsibility on them because we know relying on them solely doesn't work, right? We know we ask right now the way our system is set up for them to be mental health people, for them to be, you know, couples therapists, everything. Whatever we don't like, people just pick up the phone, call 911, and deal with it. That's not a system that's going to work for how we want to build communities and better people. When you have an education system that's severely underinvested, when you have communities that we know, listen, we're talking about Baltimore, the birthplace of housing and segregation via policy. We know that we have to focus a lens of equity on how we're going to invest into those neighborhoods and people. Like that's the conversation that we have to have. And it's tough, but we're going to have to start now. Like the Senate president said, it's not just a switch that you flip, but someone has to turn on the nozzle so that the water actually starts coming down the hose. And that's the moment that we're in right now.
Sheriff, I see you nodding. Go ahead.
I'd just like I think Mr. Scott's right on in his points that, again, police have been always asked to be the solver of all of society's problems. And I think we've tasked them with way too much. Now, I don't think it can't go to the other extreme. We can't get rid of police. Police have a very important function. And as I said earlier, I think the vast majority of 800,000 cops across this country, men and women, go out there every single day with the best intentions in their heart and to provide a better community, a safer community for those they serve.
Daniel, from a
like
young,
also a big thing now. I feel like with me being in a younger generation, I feel like if we felt like we were closer to the police, or like they not, I wouldn't even say friends, but just felt like we were closer, and they were just there for us, and they were they were there when we needed them more, and not just when they wanted to be there or when they felt like if it was the right time for them to be there. I feel like that would also make it easier and better for us to understand them and for us to be around them. Because at the moment, a lot of people, they don't like the police because they feel like, well, the police, they just come, they just want trouble. They don't want to come and help. They don't want to come and make things better. They just want to come and fuss, fight, lock people up. You know what I'm saying? But if we feel like the police are here and they're coming to just check on us, you know what I'm saying? They're coming to be friends more so, not enemies.
Sure.
A lot of people see the police as enemies, which makes them not like the police, which makes them say, oh, well, I'm going to act out and I'm going to do this because it's going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that would be something that would help us.
Sheriff, that sounds like community building, and I'm guessing that you're going to have to make that part, if not already, part of the regimen for your folks there in Harford, yeah, and along with the state as well.
Right. And we certainly do here in Harford County, and I don't know what Baltimore City might have, but we have a citizens police academy that we run year after year. We have a lot of different community programs that we run to get the community more involved. But probably the most notable is the Citizens Police Academy, where people come to us with 10-week, to get involved and see what services their sheriff's office provides as the primary law enforcement, corrections, and civil process servers. I do think, and I know Daniel's perspective, I do think the vast majority of men and women out there are out there to make their communities better. They're not coming there to arrest people, but we've set up a system in this country where someone dials 911, whether it's a barking dog or someone's child won't get up for school or it's a homicide, that the police are going to come fix that. And there are things we need to look at to say, is this really a matter for law enforcement? When it comes to a use of force, a necessary use of force, it's never going to look pretty. We're never going to see a use of force that looks like something you see on TV. It's always going to look, unfortunately, some of them turn violent. We have brave men and women who are willing to do this job. That is not the vast majority of cases, but it's a minority. And this is not speaking to George Floyd. That is
No, I hear you.
egregious, and everyone agrees on that. So I don't want to confuse that issue.